All right, so we're live now. Um, my name is Alan C. This is my second podcast. Uh, I finally came up with a name for it. We gonna call it "Be Quiet." Grown folks is talking. That's gonna be the name of my podcast. My final name. So uh, at this time, let me say a little bit about
I like that
myself.
name.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Alan C. I'm a real OG from QB. Uh, I'm perfectly imperfect. I don't know everything. I do know a lot of things. I'm a work in progress. And that's a little bit about myself. I'm here talking with a young man that I've known a lot of his life. I've seen him grow up off and on. And when he was young, I used to always see him walking around with some kind of sports implement, gloves, balls, bats, basketballs, footballs. It seemed like he was always playing sports. And now you're a whole grown man, and you have a podcast that you're doing on sports. So I figured you'd be a good interview for me. I've known you, like I said, all my life. You from East New York, Crystal Street to be exact, and I know you rep it.
Yes, 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 yes.
so uh,
Absolutely.
yeah. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Dray Day, and he has his own, like I said, his own sports podcast, and so I don't mess up the name. I'm gonna let him introduce, and I'm gonna let him talk about it, and I'm gonna let him talk about what it is that he wants to say. So without further ado, Dre Day. So on you, bro.
Appreciate it, big homie. I'm glad to bless your pod. I guess we could have this as a East New York, Queensbridge, or Crystal Street, Queensbridge connection today. So it's good. It's good. It's good. So yeah, this is your boy Dre Day, from Sportsway with Dre Day podcast. I call myself the Hood's ESPN, and one of the reasons why I actually have that nickname is because of this individual right here, because as he was saying, seeing me as a young pup, carrying the bat or carrying the basketball or carrying the football and just talking sports in the neighborhood, him and some of the OGs would always tell me, we want to see you on TV one day. We want to see you on ESPN one day. So it just stuck with me. So I figured, okay, if I start a podcast, I gotta have a nickname for myself. So I said, why not the Hood's ESPN? Because the OGs in the neighborhood, they gave me that nickname. I didn't crown myself that. So, I started this podcast about 4 years ago. Well, this year makes 4 years.
Yeah, it's been that long.
I got about 200 and yeah, yeah. Since 2018, I
Wow.
got about 240, I think 243 episodes to date right now. I actually dropped 243 earlier today. So go check that out. It's on all podcast platforms except Tidal. So it's easy. It's easy to listen to the podcast. And I basically talk about basketball, football, baseball. I dive into tennis a little bit. I dive into wrestling a little bit. Whatever it is that's being worth talking about, your boy is speaking about it.
Okay, okay. So you got something, a specific person or team or event that you want to talk about right now?
Well, the thing that I definitely want to talk about now is, with the whole Brian Flores, the former Miami Dolphins coach, um, got this lawsuit with the NFL as it pertains to. I mean, we pretty much already knew it. We know it's racism in the NFL. We were just waiting for somebody to, basically have the balls to come out and say it. And unfortunately, he was the one that came out and did it. And unfortunately, this might end his chances of ever coaching again. But again, like you
Well,
said,
he
he was like that.
not to cut
He
you off though, but he
yeah.
actually brought a suit. He not only spoke about it, but he's suing the NFL, right?
He's suing him. Oh yeah. And I'm glad that somebody is actually bringing this up to the forefront, because the track record shows you got about 70 to 75% of the players in the NFL that are African American. There's no reason why it's only one black coach in the NFL. It's no excuse. That Rooney rule that they have, it's a complete joke. It's complete bullshit. And basically, when they do interview these black coaches, they only doing it just to check the box. They have no interest in hiring these black coaches as head coaches. We could be assistant coaches, we could be coordinators, but we can't run a team. And that's the shit that irks my soul because you're giving these other coaches from the other side with no experience at all, they're getting opportunities way before some of the black coaches that have experience as coaches or coordinators. And it's sickening. It makes no sense. It's really getting out of hand now. It's really getting out of hand.
Well, in my humble opinion, it's been out of hand. I stopped watching professional sports. I don't follow teams and stuff like I did when I was younger. I basically look at the Super Bowls and the playoffs and stuff like that. I don't follow regular because of all the BS in there because I felt like even I got really stopped watching after the Kaepernick thing because it not only applies as far as I'm concerned to coaches and stuff like that. It's about players and quarterback and situation. And I have a problem. I understand old boy that's getting ready to retire. They want to make him the GOAT so bad. They want to make him the GOAT of all sports if they could. If they could, they would make him, you know who I'm talking about. They would make him the GOAT of
Oh
all
no,
sports.
that's my guy right there. But he's not the goat of all sports. No, no, no,
But
no.
that's what
I'm not going that far.
that's what they try to make him. And he deserves all his accolades. He is who he is and everything, but let's face it, there's probably would have been a lot more black quarterbacks that would have been in his category if not for the fact that they don't want black people playing that position, to be honest. I mean, am I off base with that?
I mean, the way I look at it, we got amazing we've had some great black quarterbacks. I mean, we're talking about just going back in history, Doug Williams, he was the first black quarterback to win a Super Bowl with the Redskins back in the day. I mean, we all remember Randall Cunningham, Michael Vick, Donovan McNabb, Dante Culpepper, and now, you know what I mean, we got Lamar Jackson, who's really he's basically the forefront right now as far as the black quarterbacks. We had Cam Newton, so they've had success. Absolutely, they've definitely had success. But the thing that they always try to have stuck with the black quarterbacks is, oh, they're more runners than they are throwers. That's the thing, and that was the issue with as it pertained to us. Oh, we could be quarterbacks, we could play the position, but the first thing y'all want to say about us is, oh, we're not the average quarterback. We're not like the average quarterbacks where, oh, we want to throw the ball, we always want to run. It's always run first. It's this and that, and it's it sucks that they have that stuck with us. But I'm I'm like, listen, all the past black quarterbacks we've had, I'm proud of all of them. I'm proud of all of them. They've all had their success in their own way. Lamar Jackson, he just won an MVP just a few years ago, and it's like right now with all the other Patrick Mahomes, I gotta mention him too because
Yeah.
he's mixed. I gotta throw him in there as well. So
he's still
yeah,
black.
he's still one
That's
of
like
he's still one of
Kaepernick.
us.
Like
Yeah,
we
exactly.
can't when we decide to tell somebody how black they are. That I don't get. I don't
Oh no no
feel. I'm
no.
not
No,
feeling that when people say
yeah
that kind of stuff.
yeah I don't subscribe to that. Like he's a brother, and he's had some success as well. So all of all of them, I'm proud of them and all the success that they've had. But the funny thing to me is going back to these coaches after this whole lawsuit was put together. It was just announced last week. You would think that, okay, We got some black coaches. We got black coordinators that's trying to be head coaches. We got about 4 or 5 slots available. Let's show them. Let's at least show them that, oh, we are concerned with diversity. Let's hire them. And they're still not doing it. They still basically saying, F y'all, F y'all, we're gonna be racist about it. We're only hiring white coaches, and there's nothing y'all can do about it. That's basically what they're showing us right now. If you pay attention, like if people are out there paying attention, Stevie Wonder can see it. It's crystal clear. Like they just filled another slot a few days ago, the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think it's only 3 slots available. I think the Saints are still looking for a coach. I think the Vikings are still looking for a coach. I think it's the Saints, the Vikings, and I forgot who the other team is. I guarantee you, all 3 of those slots ain't gonna be no brother. It ain't gonna be a brother. And this is the shit that Brian Flores is talking about. This is exactly what he's talking about.
Yeah, it's sad, but it's like microcosm of what's going on in this whole country at this time. Like people don't want to recognize race. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want you reading about it. They they don't want you discussing it at all. But at the end of the day, everything in this country boils down to it. It boils down to race and politics. Everything in this country, and it's all local. Like it affects us in every way, every day, and we know what it is. We know we have to be twice as good. We have to be twice as fast, and it's like we get penalized. Like we was talking about, you talking about the coaches, and we was talking about the quarterbacks, and it's like quarterbacks get penalized for being athletic. The more athletic they are, the more it seems like they have a problem with it, and it's a
Mm-hmm.
shame. It's a shame.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you something about that gentleman that walked off the field. Walked off on your boy. Did you say he walked off on your boy and left the field and quit? Or I don't know. Like I said, I don't really follow football like that, so I don't really know this young man and know what he's about. I don't even know how good his game is, but
AB.
obviously, go ahead.
Oh no, he had not to cut your wisdom. He had the potential to be one of the great receivers. Like he played with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and for his first, I want to say 5 6 years, he was putting up great yards. Like we had NFL Hall of Famers like Jerry Rice, Michael Irvin, Randy Moss. He put up records in his first few seasons that they didn't even put up. But his problem was he wound up becoming the diva. He wound up becoming a receiver. If he don't get the ball as many times, he causes a tantrum, or he'll have an issue with the quarterback. So what happened with him was he was with Pittsburgh. He had a problem with the quarterback. Then he had an issue with the team giving the young receiver. They gave him the MVP award for the best player on the team. So he had an issue with that. So he causes a tantrum. He goes to the Raiders. At the time, they were still in Oakland. He goes to them, has an issue with the general manager. He records a conversation that he and the head coach had. He records the conversation, puts it on Instagram for everybody to hear. He gets released. He causes this whole show on IG, yelling in his backyard, talking about he's free, he's this, he's that, he's that. So then he goes to the Patriots. He links up with Tom Brady, plays one game, has an amazing game. He has some off the field issues that are discovered. They release him. At the same token, he takes stabs at the team. He takes stabs at the owner of the team, who was having his own little scandal situations for something that happened in Florida. He then goes to Tampa. He links back up with Brady. Brady says, you know what? Ain't no other team coming after you. I got you. Like, you can come here. You can come and play with me. He helps Tampa win a Super Bowl. I will admit that. He helped him with a Super Bowl. We fast forward to this season. He gets hurt, so he's out for a few weeks. Then it's reported that he lied about being vaccinated. He basically
I didn't even know about that part.
forged a vaccination card. Yeah,
Wow.
he forged a vaccination card.
But let's
So he
be
wound up being suspended for 3 games.
listen for true clarity. He's not the only football player that's done that.
Oh no, Aaron Rodgers, he did it too. He did it too. But see, here's the funny thing: he didn't get suspended. AB did.
Okay.
So this is the only
Okay.
this is the only time I'm going to defend AB with what I gotta
Okay.
say because regardless because his behavior is uncalled for. But on this one, I'm gonna defend him because there's no reason why you get suspended, but Aaron Rodgers doesn't. But we know why. Complexion for the protection for the collection. There's no need to keep diving on that. So he gets suspended for the 3 games. He comes back. Brady, who's the quarterback, feeds him the ball. He's throwing him the ball, getting him involved, making him feel like he's a part of the game. The following week, his favorite target, Rob Gronkowski, comes back from being injured. So now he's feeding him the ball more. So he catches a fit from what I was told and what a lot of people was told. He was in the huddle with Brady saying, "Oh, Gronk is back, so that's your guy now. So you don't want to throw me the ball now." For me, it's all about match. For me, it's all about matchups. Like if my receiver has an easy matchup, I'm gonna keep throwing him the ball. I'm not gonna keep feeding you the ball just because you yes, you're special, absolutely. But if my other receiver got an easier matchup, I'm gonna keep feeding him the ball.
Only
So
makes
what
sense.
happens is he causes a tantrum. He causes a tantrum on the sidelines, and basically he takes all his equipment off, and basically took all his equipment off, does jumping jacks, waves to the crowd,
I
basically
saw
caused
that
the
whole
whole yeah.
performance. Um,
And
I
what's so funny is they constantly talk about this injury that he has. But every day we're seeing you on TV moving around like nothing is wrong with you. For somebody who has an ankle injury, I don't see no boot on your foot. I don't see none of that. You walking around normal. You doing records with Kanye and all this other shit. Like, what happened to you being injured? So we like the real ones know what that's about. He was being the diva.
yeah.
And then you throw the person under the bus that was there helping you the most. Like the old saying is, "Don't bite the hand that feeds you." That's basically what you did because there was no other team interested in you. No other team was knocking on your door, and then you mad because he didn't get if he got a few more catches in the season, he would have got his incentives. If you would have just kept your mouth shut and didn't cause this tantrum, you wouldn't have had that problem because Brady would have gave you the ball. He did it last year. You got your incentives last year because of Brady hooking you up with the ball. But you wanting to be a diva, you
Hmm.
messed that up.
Yeah.
So you can't really blame nobody but yourself.
Well, that's it sounds like that brother might have some issues
CTE,
emotion.
CTE.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
and we have to consider that, and I wish the best for him no matter what. That's where I
Absolutely,
stand from. But
absolutely.
I didn't like. I thought that was a little over the top, and like I said, I don't like to judge no one until I know the whole story because we don't always know the whole story, and
Right.
that's why I want to switch a little bit. Let's go to basketball. Let's go to basketball.
Oh, we can do
Because
that.
again, that's another
We can do
sport
that.
that I used to watch, but I really have lost some of my love for it because of all the switching of the teams and putting teams together that you know gonna win championships and all that kind of thing. I get it because it's a business and those are business moves and nobody wants to
Right.
go their whole career and not win a championship, and especially if you're a prime time player, if you're one of the lead players, you don't want to go, your whole career. People used to, I mean, some of the best players ever used to do that because they would stick with the same team forever. And if the team
Hmm.
never got there, they never got there. It was what it was.
Yeah, never got there. Oh yeah, it's
It's
plenty,
different now.
plenty of them.
I want to talk for a second and not too long on Kyrie. Is it Kyrie? The Nets, the one that's not playing because he won't
Yeah,
take a
Yeah,
shot.
yeah, Kyrie Irving. Yeah,
Uh, he, I didn't know. Like I said, I don't follow sports like I used to, but I hear stuff and I pay attention to what's going on, especially when there's a controversy involved. But, that's everything. Controversy drives, media, and
hmm
so. What do you think about that? Because he brought all them people. He asked people to come to that team to play. Like he's supposed to put together the team that they're supposed to, and he's not playing. Like, uh, what's your opinion about that?
as a Nets fan, because they're in Brooklyn, I'm torn because I get why he's not playing. He's not with the vaccination thing. So I'm not gonna be on some F Kyrie because he don't want to get vaccinated. Like if he doesn't want to, us as fans or media or just people in general, we have to respect his opinion and keep it pushing. Me, I'm vaccinated. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna be sitting here trying to preach to people, yo, you need to get vaccinated. Like I have plenty of friends that are against it. They still my people, love them to death. He has his opinion, he has his beliefs. So unfortunately, because of that, and the way it's set up in New York, he can't play home games. He can only play the away games. Now, what's happening is right now they're not doing too good. And the reason being is because there's no chemistry there. Now, yes, you got three of the greatest, three of the greatest players that ever played this game on the same team. And it was supposed to be some crazy potential. Like it was basically on some Nets, Lakers in the finals. That's what everybody was saying when the season first started. That ain't looking like the case right now. And one of the reasons is because there's no chemistry there. Now I get he's gonna play the road games, but there's no way that y'all gonna coexist if he's only playing part time. And then on top of that, KD is hurt now anyway, so we already another man short. And now with James Harden, with the rumors circulating that he may be leaving, he may get traded to Philly. It's not. It's not a good look for the Nets right now. It's not. It's not. And I know there's some people out there that's gonna blame Kyrie for this. That's just that's just the nature of the beast. There's gonna be a bunch of people out there that blame him for this because, like you said, the reason why KD and Harden came is because he made the decision to come here. KD, he was going to the Knicks. KD was going to the Knicks, but him being a close friend with Kyrie and him saying, yo, let's go to Brooklyn instead, that's why he jumped on that train to come to the Nets. And not for nothing, for these past 2 seasons, it's been an absolute disappointment right now for what it was supposed to be.
Yeah, sad.
The first year I don't count because KD didn't play.
Yeah,
But last year and this season, it's been an absolute disappointment. Like
yeah.
you can't have these type players on the same team and don't win. And if they don't win this year, this is going to be one of the biggest chokes in NBA history as far as having a super team join forces and they don't do nothing. That's what it's
It's
looking like right now in Brooklyn.
yeah. It seems like New York teams have been jinxed for a long time. And see, me personally, I'm gonna always be a New York fan. I don't rep no other teams outside of New York. If it's not a New York team, I really don't care. Like I respect what you're doing if you
Respect
winning or
that. Respect
whatever,
that.
but I'm always New York. If it's New York, New York Knicks, New York Nets. When Nets was in Jersey, it was close enough. I'm like regional with it with
Yeah.
my sports, and even when it comes to college basketball, all of that. Um, Dag, I kind of was. Oh, I want to bring up because I've been seeing a lot of Kobe interviews lately, and I never was a real big Kobe fan.
RIP.
I
R.I.P.
never
to the
was a real
mama.
big Kobe fan because I felt like he was a chucker. I felt like he was a ball hog. So I felt like that took away from
No, no.
his. That's just my opinion. I never like you scoring all them points and you doing it because you got the ball all the time and you shooting all the time and everything. But I seen an interview where he said nobody's in the gym like him. He said nobody works out like him, and I've seen other people interview and say the same thing that Kobe's a beast. Like when it comes to working out, and like they had that song "You Wasn't With Me When I Was in the Gym." Like for him, that shit was so real. So he said, "Why should I pass the ball to people who's not working as hard as I am?" So the more I see him interview, the more I get him now. You know what I'm saying? I said, yo, I get why you was, and he was real about it too. When he was questioned about it, he like Shaq. I seen Shaq in an interview when he said like other teammates came to him and told him, say, yo, tell Kobe like pass the ball, like give us a. And he said he went to Kobe and told Kobe, and Kobe looked at him like he was crazy, and he went back to them and said he's not gonna pass you the ball if he thinks he's got the shot, you have to get yours like he got like he's getting his, and it is what it is. So it's like a lot of these guys after their careers, you really and I've been seeing these things. You really don't know how good they were or how why they did or why they played the way they played. And I've gained a lot of respect for Kobe in depth and in seeing a lot of interviews because now that he's dead, you've seen a lot of interviews he's did, and it's funny how that doesn't
Oh
happen
yeah.
when you're alive. People don't get their flowers when they're alive.
Nope.
It's
Mm-mm.
crazy.
Nope.
That's
Absolutely.
crazy how.
It's so unfortunate. It sucks. It sucks because I could recall when he was here, people hated Kobe. Like the media heads, they hated Kobe. Everything was LeBron this, LeBron that, LeBron this, LeBron that. Like we know Kobe not better than Mike. We know that. Even he said that.
But he
Now,
was
of
as
course,
good. He was close. He don't like
absolutely,
that's what we
yes,
got to you got to give it
yes.
to him. He was close
You have
to
to. Oh yeah, he was the closest thing to the god MJ, and we like us basketball fans, true basketball fans. We know that. Like they just keep trying to throw LeBron on us and make us think he was the next MJ, which is bullshit. It was Kobe. It was always Kobe.
yeah.
And like we talked about his work ethic and all of that. Where you think he got it from? He got it from Jordan. The dude dribbled like Mike. He walked like Mike. He talked like Mike. There was times he was stuck his tongue out like Mike. So if you want to be the best, obviously you're going to want to emulate the best. So like when he talks about Mamba mentality, I mean, shit, you can say MJ is the unsung hero in the Mamba mentality because that's where he got it from. That's where he got like
Absolutely.
that's where he got it from. But the media heads they hated Kobe. But it just so happened it took for him to pass that now everybody all of a sudden
It's
love Kobe
crazy.
now. Because I remember when they would do like their top fives and top tens, Kobe wasn't in their top five. He would be at the bottom of the top 10. But now that he gone, now everybody, oh yeah, Kobe's in the top five now. Y'all niggas is full of shit. Y'all niggas is full of shit, man. Y'all wait till this man is gone, and now y'all want to show this man the love that he deserved. He should have got them roses while he was here for what he did as a basketball player, what he was doing off the court. He even shedded light on the WNBA, like
Yeah,
the
I didn't
women's
I didn't know
basketball league
about that
now.
either. Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, they like if he was still here, because he was very instrumental in talking about the women's game.
Yeah. I heard he used to go
Very
to a
much
lot of games.
instrumental about it.
Well, it only makes sense
A
because
lot
he
of the
was
games,
setting
he
it
would
up for his daughter. He knew where his daughter, God bless the
bingo,
dead, where she would have, where she would be had she lived. She was already developing
facts,
the Mamba mentality in her little classification. So yeah,
absolutely.
I just like I said, I just been seeing so many interviews about him, and every time I see one and I hear him talking, I be saying, and him winning that Academy Award for that poem. What do you want? A Grammy or Academy Award or Grant? I forget whether he won a
He
Grammy.
won an Oscar for a book that he put
Oscar,
out.
Oscar. Yeah, for it was a
It was
short story. A
it was
short.
Oscar.
Yo,
Yeah, it
so
was short.
dope,
Yeah, yeah.
so dope that.
So he was doing things. He was doing things outside of basketball. It was like, yo, like, okay, I'm done with this chapter. I done played my years. I done left my mark. Let me try something else.
Yeah,
He had his academy, like he had his Mamba Academy. He was coaching his daughter's team. Like he was going to do some things, and then unfortunately, like
it
I
seems
kid
like
you not,
they.
I remember it like it
So
was yesterday, man.
yeah, it seems like somehow the the best of us um, don't make it like long. Like we don't get to show our full true potential. Um, but that's why we have to start
Our
protecting.
greats are gone, and then you be having these trash ass, and you got these trash ass people still alive. I ain't scared to say it. Like we a lot of our legends is gone, and it be some of these whack ass motherfuckers that's still alive, and it irks me.
Yeah. All right.
Biggie gone,
Let's
Pop gone.
yeah, that's we done lost. Yeah, and that's just in the last. Well, that's not Pac, but we done lost quite a few in the last year or two.
We
DMX.
don't like. I mean,
Um,
those are the two that I can think of. Those are the two that I can think of on the top of my head. But then you got Kid Rock ass still alive and Vanilla Ice still alive. But that's neither here nor there.
all right, so let's end this with the Super Bowl. Go back to football. Let's end
Oh,
this with the
okay,
Super
okay,
Bowl.
okay.
I'm not too knowledgeable on the teams. I don't know who was expected to get there or
I
who
got you.
should
I
be
got you.
there or none of that.
That's why I'm here.
But
I got you.
yeah, you give me your take on it.
Well, first off, I want to give congrats to both teams because I mean I've never played and just imagine how hard it is to get to this game, to play, to do all the OTAs, to be in training camp, to do 3 or 4 preseason games, and then to do 17 to 18 weeks of regular season, and then have probably 3 games in the playoffs to then get to the Super Bowl. I can only imagine the toll it takes on them mentally and physically. So, congrats to the Los Angeles Rams on making the Super Bowl. Congrats to the Cincinnati Bengals on making the Super Bowl. Because the crazy thing is, when the season first started, there was people saying the Rams had a chance to make the Super Bowl. They was just a quarterback away. So, they basically traded 2 first-round draft picks and their quarterback at the time. They traded him to the Detroit Lions to pick up Matthew Stafford, who is a great quarterback. Well, I'm not gonna say great quarterback. I'll say he was a good quarterback. It just so happens it got overlooked because he was playing for a trash team. That's what happens when you play for a trash team. Your talent gets overlooked. He now comes to LA, and look what happens. He leads them to the Super Bowl. And then you got the Bengals. I don't think anybody had them going to the Super Bowl. I don't even think their own fans had them going. So the fact that they beat all odds and got to the Super Bowl this year with a second-year quarterback who just came back
Oh,
off
is
of an
he
ACL injury last year.
really?
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. This young boy is very special. And the
Okay.
fact that like his personality, it rubs off on his team. If your leader shows no weakness, if your leader shows no fear, it's gonna rub off on the team. And the way he's been playing pretty much this whole season is rubbed off on the team. And now look, they're one win away from making history and winning the Super Bowl. Because nobody suspected them, nobody expected the Bengals to be in the Super Bowl. Because I know for a fact I didn't. Vegas lost a lot of money because ain't nobody expect the Bengals to go to the Super Bowl. But I'm happy for them. They deserve it. They deserve it. Like for recent years, teams have made the Super Bowl because luck was on their side. Like you'd have had somebody on the other team, like a player, like a star player was hurt or this, that, the third. Not this season with the Bengals. Like the three teams. What was it? 3 teams: wild card, divisional. championship game. All three teams that they played in the playoffs, the teams they played were fully healthy. So there was no luck on their side. Like it was just hard work and determination, and that's what got them in the Super Bowl. The Rams the same way. I mean, unfortunately, my man Brady retired because he lost to them, but it is what it is. Like
You think he's really going to
teams
retire?
that wanted the most.
You think he's really going to retire because?
Oh no! He announced it already. He's done.
Okay.
He's done. Me being a diehard fan of his. I'm not even mad that he retired because if anything, this is how you would want to go out.
On
Unfortunately,
top.
he didn't go out a champ, but he still with his numbers, he still showed he can play. It wasn't like, oh, he's washed and he's just sticking around and the team is carrying him. Nah, he was doing his thing. He was in the MVP conversation. He broke mad records this season, so he showed he could still play. But I mean, you're 44 years old. You got 7 rings. Ain't nobody breaking that shit. At least not in my lifetime.
Damn, he's 44.
There's nothing left for you at 44 years old.
Yo,
there's nothing left for you to prove.
Yeah.
It's nothing left for you to prove. Listen, you got these 3 kids. You got these 3 kids. 2 of them are teenagers. Your youngest is probably 8, 9 years old. And then you got this banging ass model wife. You need to stay your ass home. There's nothing left to prove.
No doubt.
You need to stay home. You need to stay home.
All right. So, in closing, is there anything else you'd want to add to what we've been talking about?
I don't know if you follow baseball, but I wanted to say something about Barry Bonds not making the Hall. I just think it's complete bullshit. I don't want to make it a race thing because I mean that would be the easy thing to do, but I can't do that on this one because there's another player that's white that looks like he's not going to make the Hall of Fame, and that's Roger Clemens. Both of them should be in the Hall of Fame. Now I get it. They're trying to disqualify. They're trying to X out the players that use steroids.
I was getting ready to bring that up.
Baseball. I hate to break it to them, but there's been recent players that use steroids that are in the Hall of Fame. David Ortiz, who emphatically used steroids, he just got elected in the Hall of Fame. But yet Barry Bonds can't get in.
But don't you? So then, don't you think it's like
he even started using?
Don't you think it's like a popularity contest? Because I personally met Roger Clemens. I did security at a party that he came to in Manhattan, and he looked like a football player. I had to really take a good look at him to realize that he was a baseball player. He was when I see him, he was huge. So wondering if he might have been indulgent.
Oh no, he listen. He admitted that he did it. Bonds, I mean, to this day, he's gonna deny that he's done it. But at the end of the day, if you got players that admitted that they've used and they're in the Hall, why can't this man get in? Because at the end of the day, if we just looking at the numbers, the man was a Hall of Famer before he even allegedly started taking them. And then you got to factor this in. If it wasn't for steroids, baseball would be the shit because the steroids that saved baseball.
It did. It really did.
It saved baseball. So it saved baseball.
When what's that boy's name was battling the other Spanish kid?
Sosa and McGuire.
Yes.
Sosa and McGuire.
Yes.
98.
Yes.
That 19. I remember that season. I was in the 7th grade. That year, same year my Yankees won the championship. That season saved baseball. Like that home run record chase, that saved baseball. Like you got so many players in the Hall right now. Mike Piazza, steroid user. Pudge Rodriguez, steroid user. Jeff Bagwell, steroid user. Like you got so many of these players. David Ortiz, who's admitted being a steroid user. These dudes are in the Hall of Fame, but yet Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens can't get in. And like you said, like popularity contest. If that's the case, that's more of a reason on why they need to be in. Because you're talking about two players that a lot of people revere as the GOATs of baseball. A lot of people say Barry Bonds is the GOAT of baseball. He's the home run king. I mean, people don't want to admit it, but he's the home run king. Like, it is what it is. It was Hank Aaron, RIP to him, but in the record books, Bonds got it. He got the home run record. And as far as the pitchers, there's people that say that Roger Clemens is the greatest pitcher to ever play. Like, if we just like, I just think it's bullshit that they're not in. They both should be in because if you're gonna put these people in that are known steroid users,
Hmm.
I don't see why you not. I don't see why you're not gonna put them two in. Like this is
Well,
not
you know,
about
go ahead, go ahead.
yeah.
No, I was going to
Like
say, I
like
was
this
just
is
going
not
to
about
interject it.
yeah.
No, I was just going to
Like
interject
this is
that
not about
we it must be the
go ahead,
delay.
go ahead, go ahead.
No, I was going to interject though that that's the trouble with this country in general that is contradictory. There's two different standards that we working with. You know, that's what it is. But you go ahead and finish
This
your
country is a
thought.
walking contradiction.
Yes.
This country is a walking contradiction. A walking contradiction. Because I don't understand how they're not in, but yet you got known steroid users. And I don't get that. I don't get it. I don't get it at all.
Well.
But my man Jeter never cheated, and he's in, so I'm okay. My man Jeter never cheated, and he got in. So
Yeah, he's a
hey,
good dude.
I can
He
I can
deserved.
sleep well knowing that he didn't cheat.
Well, yeah.
I can sleep well that my man didn't cheat. But Clemens and Bonds definitely should be in. Like they didn't had too many chances. Like I think they give you, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's 10. They give you 10 years to make it. Like you're on the ballot for like 10 years. After the 10th year, if you don't get in, then that's it.
Let me
Like
ask
you
you
can't
something.
like you're
Darryl
just not getting in.
Strawberry's in, right? Darryl Strawberry's in, right?
I don't think so. I
Doc
don't
neither.
think so.
Doc neither.
Nah, I don't think either one of them are in.
You don't think, huh? So-
They should be. They should be, they should be, but I don't think they're in though.
Well, you know
Because this
why?
is not about what you are. Like it's not about who you are as a person. It's about
Exactly.
because
Exactly.
okay, if you ask people about Roger Clemens and Barry Bonds, the common answer would be, oh, they're jackasses. Okay, that's cool, but what did they do when they was on that diamond? That's what it's about.
Yeah.
I don't care if you was a jackass in the media. I don't care if you was a jackass to your next door neighbor. If you was putting in work in your profession and you got countless records, when your career is over, you should be in the Mecca, which is the Hall of Fame. And both of them should be in the Hall of Fame. There's no excuse, none. And it's unfortunate that this was their last year of eligibility and they didn't get in.
Wow.
So it's
So
looking
they
like they're
so
never
they
going to
so
get
they
in.
can't they have no chance of ever getting in.
No, no. I, 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 th-
Wow.
I think this was their I think this was their last year of eligibility,
Wow.
and it's looking like they're never gonna get in.
Yeah, that is crazy. All right, so we're gonna end this interview. I appreciate you doing this. Thank you so much. And
I appreciate you having me. This was fun.
nah, man, we gonna and that's what I wanted to say too. We'll do this again, and we definitely gonna do this again because I continue on. I'm continuing this, and we're gonna have this conversation again. And like I say, once again, man, appreciate you. Love the person
Appreciate you
that you
too,
turned
OG.
out to be.
Appreciate you
I've seen
too.
you since you was a kid, since you was real young, younger than the children I've got in my household right now, and it's good to see you grew up this way, and good to see. I see that you're a good father too, and that's something else that we as black men don't get any credit for. You know what I'm saying? and
Thank you,
I
thank you, thank
respect
you. I
that. I
appreciate that. I
respect that.
appreciate that.
Look, so you have a good rest of your day, and we're gonna log out on this, man, and be safe, bro.
You too, OG. You too.
All right, later.